Are you worried that the government's plans to restrict legal aid in a number of areas will cause problems for access to justice?
It's in the civil field, of course, where this applies. And I think that there will be a lot of people who historically did have access to legal aid, people who had good cases, who probably will not be able to come to court. I mean, you can't expect the professions who do provide this pro bono service, and it's a most excellent service, and we see some wonderful work done on a pro bono basis, but there is a limit to how far you can expect the profession to subsidise this.
In the first instance courts, where you see people struggling to get themselves heard, trying to represent themselves in considerable difficulty, it's very, very disturbing, and it has an effect, of course, on the ability of the lower courts to fulfil their function, because the best way of getting things through efficiently through the courts is to have legal advice given so that bad arguments can be filtered out and the thing properly presented. And that isn't happening, and the Court of Appeal now is being deluged, I think, by litigants in person, which is a product of the absence of legal aid, and that creates a logjam in itself.
The fact is, if you look at Council of Europe statistics, as the government points to, we do spend a lot of money on legal aid. We are a system which operates and relies, by reference to, and relies on lawyers rather than a very large judiciary, as, for example, the German system. And one understands, of course, the governmental wish not to that the trend should not continue indefinitely. But one way or other, I think we have to take very seriously the question of access to justice. I obviously shan't comment on the particular governmental policy.
A lot of these claims are not claims for damages. They are claims for judicial review or claims that tribunals have gone wrong in areas which affect vulnerable members of society. And at the moment, I don't see how a contingency fee arrangement can work for those sort of cases. So I am very worried about the future for those sort of claims for access for justice. There are some very good litigants in person, but there are an awful lot who, understandably, they just don't know what they're doing. They feel very angry, frustrated. They're not lawyers. They take masses of bad points. They waste a lot of the court's time. And that's a big worry, and it's a growing trend. It's already happening.
Lower down the system, it has a major effect, and I well understand the huge concern about public expense, but people who take these decisions must realise that the implications of narrowing legal aid have a cost implication on the system and its efficiency and quality.